Facebook. Hello, darlings. This is Peri Lyons, and you're watching Peri Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic, and we're live, which certainly beats the alternative. I don't know if you guys have had kind of a bumpy couple of days. I have been getting calls from clients and friends and my third grade teacher, Sister Mary Paul. I mean, not really, but it just seems like the last couple of days, everybody's felt like whatever it is, it's aimed at them. So if you had a lot of sort of stops and starts and unexpected incidences, it's okay. That's going to ease off tomorrow. So don't worry. One good thing is there's a new moon coming up on the 12th. And then my birthday is on the 18th. So feel free to send money and a Rolls Royce and a pony. Thank you. And a kitten. On March 12th, it's a good time to set intentions for the next month or even the next year. A very easy way to do this is just get quiet. Well, I mean, you could yell a lot, but neighbors, light a candle, any color you want. Pick a color that really speaks to you. And look into the flame for maybe a couple minutes, and you'll find yourself going into this very peaceful trance state. And when you're in there, just think about not what you should want, not what other people want for you, but what kind of just lights you up when you think about it, whether you think it's possible or not. And I like to use this time to also send love to people I love. I also send love to people I don't love so much. So, because it really, I'm a bit of a grudge holder. But I've been really working in that, and I find the best way to do that is to picture those people in your mind's eye, refrain from punching them, and just send them love, wish them love and good health and happiness. It helps if you can mean it, not essential. So, it's also, by the way, it just turned into the year of the ox. And next week, we're going to be going in some depth into the different Chinese astrological years. Like, oh, hi, Christine in Ontario. I love people from Ontario. I don't know why. Most of my friends in New York are from Ontario. Hi, sweetie. I'm just going to babble for about 3 more minutes. Are you cool? You want to get a drink or do some macrame while you're waiting? Okay, thanks, love.
Sure.
I keep trying to do macrame, but I wind up like everything is tied together. Where was I going with this? Suddenly completely lost my train of thought. That's okay. It happens because it's live. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, if you're a regular watcher, and I hope you are, and remember, if you're tuning in, it's no accident. Trust me on this. So, you might, even if you don't this time get through, you will probably hear something in one of my beloved callers' stories and my responses that will really speak to you. So, stay on and listen, because tonight, all readings are your reading, if you get my drift. Okay, I'm going to draw 3 cards for the week. I call this the psychic weather. And it's sort of what the interior weather is for each of us. And you'd be surprised how accurate it can be. Okay, the first thing we get, the 10 of Pentacles, is a fascinating card. There's an old man, there's a dog, very important in cards. There's a couple. So this is obviously a family or legacy card. The dog represents loyalty and elbow. The old man represents wisdom and dentures. And it's about any 10 you get in tarot is about a cycle coming to a conclusion in a really nice way. What this could mean is that fairly soon we're not going to be spending all of our time locked into a closet with our immediate families. Help me! But this also means that this time has brought you closer to your family, your heritage, your DNA. I know a lot of people are doing like ancestry, and it's fascinating. And if you're hearing this, there's something in your family tree that is fascinating and you don't know about. Awesome. This is a great card. Aces always represent the beginning of a cycle. The Ace of Swords, because swords has to do with communication, has to do with new ideas. It has to do with cutting away the old limitations that you thought were your identity, but they're not. So you might find yourself in this time of growing outside of your comfort zone. You might feel a little lost. If you do, just tell yourself that actually you're the most found you've ever been. When you get this card, it is the beginning of clarity, the beginning of a cycle of knowing what you want. It's the beginning of a cycle of fighting duels. No, sorry. I just like swords. But it's the beginning of a clarity, and if you have ideas that you want to start now, whether it's business or anything or a book, just write down 10 ideas a day, because you're going to have a lot of ideas. Pick one and do it. Very good time. Whee! Oh, this is also a time when Mother Earth, female power, because you'll notice this woman she's got a crown of stars, so she's spiritual, that she's got a lot of sort of rich stuff on. So she's spiritual and she's wealthy. And she has a kind of strength that's beautiful. So you might find yourself, well, sometimes this card means if this is not a moment that you want to perhaps reproduce, like wear a wetsuit, because it's a fertile time. But it's also a time when mothers in different families are really stepping into their power. And I'm very pleased about this. Also, you might find yourself gardening, not because it's fashionable, but because this is a time when we're rediscovering Mother Earth and what she means to us. Yay! Thank you. Christine, are you still there?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Yay! Hello, my dear. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So I like to connect with people by asking what their birthday is. You don't have to tell me the date. Just, so what day is your birthday?
28th of June, 61.
The 28th of June?
Yes.
Good. Oh, I don't think I've ever met anybody with that birthday. Oh, cool. Nice to meet you. I sense you're original and unusual in a lot of ways. 2 and 8 equal 10. And then June is what, 6, 7. So numerologically, the 28th 10 there is, you came into this life with a lot of knowledge. I hate saying old soul because it's such a cliche, but how about a very wise soul? Sometimes you don't really suffer fools gladly, but you know what? I'm all in favor of that these days. Um, it feels like your question has to do with family, and I'm not just saying that because you're Cancer. I'm a Pisces. Let's get married. Um, kidding. Would you like me to do kind of a all over reading? Feels like you have a specific question. What is it? I'll just put you
I
this
wondered if
posture.
you got any messages from the other side.
Oh, that's not easy. Okay. Just tell me if it's a friend or relative, because there's a lot of people over there, and it will save time.
So actually, I'm looking for a couple of friends. Yes.
Okay, good, because I was getting friends. Um, wow, it's been a tough year for losing friends. And the reason I say that is one of your friends reminds me of one of my friends who passed this year, the best person ever. It feels like a man and a woman.
Both women.
What? It's
Both
two women?
Yep.
Interesting. Does one of them have kind of a masculine energy? I'm not cheating here. I'm just saying she's kind of a force.
Yes, she does actually, and she was been passed for a long time. One has been passed.
She passed for a long time as a man. I need you to speak up a little, my angel.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you too. Is that any better?
It's much better. She has. Okay, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. One of them has kind of a flowery name, and one of them has kind of a straightforward name. So that would be something like Victoria and Janet, but maybe not those two. Is that correct, though? Because it's helping me identify them.
One is definitely a J name.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misheard it. So Jamie, yeah. Is the other kind of a girly name?
More of a bird name.
Yeah, first name. That's okay. You don't have to tell me. I'm getting them anyway.
Okay, there's Robin and Joyce.
Oh, okay. Janet, Joyce, whatever. Oh, that's interesting. That's the third time the name Robin has come up today, which is always a confirmatory coincidence. Interesting. I'm getting one of them as being. Well, she's showing me herself. Usually people show themselves at about 30 or 35. I feel like I'm not sure which one this is. She was probably about 47 when she passed. And she feels what?
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you. she's presenting as slender and blonde. She might, we change a little as we get older, but people tend to present younger because it's a fun age to be. One of them feels almost like a librarian, like really loved reading. The other one is dark hair, is a little stockier built, and is the most loyal friend you could have in the world. I'm so sorry. And one of them didn't realize she'd passed for a while. So you might have been having
Joyce.
What? Yeah.
That would be the one that passed a long time ago, yes. And she didn't want to pass.
No, she did not. She still shows up. I mean, you guys, both, you had a special bond with each of them. With Joyce,
yes,
it was a kind of complete acceptance of each other. You just didn't judge each other. You're very supportive of each other. And is she the one I'm getting as just being as loyal as anything?
Actually, the first one was Joyce. She was definitely extremely loyal, wonderful
Yeah.
friend. And the other one, I only knew for a short time, but we got very close. And yes,
Yeah.
it was an acceptance of one
Yeah.
another. There was no condemnation there at all.
Yeah. It's really nice. Um, and you still have that. I mean, until experience rather unexpectedly showed me other. I never believed in continuation of anything after we pass. I was wrong about that. So love and personality really stay. The personality changes as it heals. So it drops some of the self-imposed limitations. It drops almost anything that's not love. And I think Joyce liked to have things her own way. I really like her.
Oh, yeah.
But she's a bossy babe. Um,
Yeah.
she's great. Was she a Capricorn or an Earth sign? I'm going to tell you
Virgo.
What? Okay, Earth sign, Virgo. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So here's what I want to say. Joyce wants to give you advice. She can't volunteer the advice because there's some sort of rule that I figured out and then had confirmed that they can't really help us unless it's life or death. But if we ask them, they can. And one way that they can communicate is through signs, or you'll hear a song on the radio that echoes your thoughts. Pay attention to sort of the holistic. I'm having a really good time having my hand do this. Hold on. Stop. Okay. To pay attention to things that you might normally be like, that doesn't mean anything, just a coincidence. Not a lot of coincidence here. The other one just wants you to know you're loved and worth loving. And that's always been her message to you, and it always will be. For some reason, this person just saw you and just said, that's a good person. I'm still not sure about past lives, but although I've had some odd experiences, so maybe I would say that there's some sort of past life connection there, or like you might have been soldiers together or something. I mean, obviously not, you know what I'm saying, not recently, but
Right.
there's a kind of camaraderie and having each other's back that shows up. My producer just said we have 4 minutes, so if it's okay, I'd like to stay with you because, hey, you're really fun and I like you. There's something about a child you are ambivalent about. I don't mean to get personal. Sometimes I'll say stuff before I realize I'm saying it. That's all I'm going to say. But they're saying you made the right decision.
Okay.
What, honey?
Thank you very much.
Does that mean something to you?
It sure does. It sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were asked to take a grandchild, and we said no.
Yeah.
We thought we were too old.
God. Well, that child had an incredibly beautiful heart and was touching the earth and won't go back and then come back here. Some of the most amazing people I know are such evolved souls that they have to come here for a little while, touch the earth, get used to it, and then come back again and get to stay. But I'm very sorry. You've really had a lot of spiritual awakening lately, too.
Yeah.
Something that, what?
I most definitely have.
Yes. You're an extraordinary person. Everybody who calls into the show, I get just the most lovely and amazing people, and I'm not even trying to borrow money. Here's what I'm going to suggest. Well, I'm on Facebook. My name is Peri, P as in Peter, E1RI, like periwinkle. My last name is Lyons, Lyons, Peri Lyons. There you go. So you can find me on Facebook and just send me a little message, and I'll just do a 10-minute reading for you. Can't tonight, but and just keep after me because I'm very busy. I would also, this is going to sound so weird, a Romany friend, they used to be called gypsies, told me to sleep with a glass of water next to my bed. I'm like, okay. She said, trust me. And what it did was make my dreams more vivid. And I would suggest that there's a few more things. There's some good stuff coming up for you, my love. And
wow, thank you.
You sort of think, you're welcome. You sort of think things, some part of you is like, I'm too old, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too, whatever. Get that out of the way because the best part of your life is in front of you. Trust me on this. So,
thank you.
Come back next week. Tell your friends. The show also makes a very good drinking game, but I don't drink. But I'm really glad to meet you, and thank you for being so patient. Everybody who's here, you are my cherished ducklings, and I'm here. I'm Peri Lyons. You can just type in Peri Lyons here, and you'll find my website. I'm having a sale right now, and just love and light. I know that sounds really cliche, but hey. And come back next week and be part of our community. Find me on Facebook because you have a lot of talent. And that's it. And I love you all, except for that guy in the corner there. But aside from him, I love you all. Take care. I'm Peri Lyons. This is Moonstruck TV, the biggest and best psychic network in the world. We're global. All right, my love.